Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to TerickTime. We are over here at the ship Mossflower and the Lush Cave area, where, if you haven't seen it in the last episode, we built a absolutely fantastic little house over our moss farm. So I still need to add a few more details and kind of get in this area kind of filled out with some feel and vibes. And I've had a couple of amazing suggestions in the comments, and I would like to execute a couple of those. So come along. To get started, I want to add a little bit more of a waterway and flood a little bit of the bottom here. And then I brought a whole bunch of other things with me. So I got some moss, some bone meal, and then mushrooms. The really cool suggestion that I saw in the comments was red mushrooms in here. And I just think that it's going to look so very cool. So let me flood a little bit of this lower section here, and then I'm going to throw some kind of vines, and then I can start using the end rods with a red mushroom block on top, kind of as little mushrooms, and then I've got some just regular red mushroom that I can kind of plant here as well. So I want to do a little bit on the backside here, and I think I want to try and flood this as well, which is going to be a little challenging just because of the shape. But I think I'm up to the task. So let me work on this real quick, and then let's take a look at what it looks like. All right. I may have gotten a little carried away, but I gotta say, I really wish I'd done this in the last episode. I just hadn't got the inspiration. But let's check this out. Like already, it doesn't even look like the same place. It's amazing. So I've gone through and added little bits of like cobble or mossy cobblestone. I've added azalea trees. I've flooded this entire back little corner here and gave it some little floaty leaves, and so I've added some of the glow lichen into the water as well to try and kind of illuminate it. And then we've got some little baby mushrooms running around, and then over this way, just a little bit more detail, kind of to give it this some life and character. And there's inhabitants. Okay. Um, a bunch of the azalea leaves, kind of bringing the water actually all the way around this corner up into here as well. And then I did a little bit of work down here as well, kind of filling this in. Didn't do too much detail in there, but it just kind of helps with having it even filled in. And then the piece de la resistance, like the view, is just over here. Oh, the mushrooms. Why do the mushrooms work so good in the lush cave? I don't know, but I've kind of flooded in this side a little bit as well, through a bunch of foliage in it, and then I've added in this little bridge right here, which the copper's coming along, but it needs to oxidize to kind of match up this copper. But I love this little lush cave vibe in here. It's just it's so cute. I love it. And unfortunately, I have to go leave now and actually start this episode's project. So let's get to it. So a couple of days ago, I had another little stream. So if you managed to make it out to that, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate your support. But this is a wee little creeper farm designed by Chapman. Honestly, it's a little wee thing, and that honestly is quite fine because it's just me. So I don't need a massive mob farm. It's fine. And it's actually more productive than I thought. I AFK'd for 8 hours. So like an overnight AFK session. And yeah, got a full double chest, a hopper, and another row. So I'm pretty set for gunpowder right now. So thankfully no issues there. I do have to figure out sugarcane, but that is that's a future problem. Right now what I want to work on is actually putting a little build on top of this, and it's kind of a cool idea. It has been done before, but I've never done one before, so I'd like to do one. So we're gonna hop and skip over into a wee little time lapse, and yeah, I'm gonna work on this build. And we have ourselves a little jungle temple. Now, this is far, far from done because, well, I'm very inspired to actually work on some of the finer details this time. So I have started by putting in this wee little path here. It needs a little TLC, like some slabs and, a little bit of variation in the actual path itself. So some coarse dirt and the like. And then I've gone ahead and grabbed a whole bunch of leaves so I can kind of, put some foliage all over this place. But then there's one other thing that I really want to do to add just a little bit of unique detail to it, and that is going to require, unfortunately, more stone, because, well, I've used all the stone I've had up, so I'm going to go dig a shulker box of stone, and then we can get started. Okay, I have collected myself a bunch of stone, and I've got myself a bunch of stuff kind of prepared here, so, oh, wait, where... There it is. I want to build some of the, well, kind of, basic generic Minecraft statues. And then kind of dot them along around the island a little bit, kind of to give a little bit more of that, kind of jungly feel. And then once I get a whole bunch of little statues in, we can go around and throw leaves and little like lanterns on some stone pillars and almost have this kind of just the only way I know how to describe it is kind of like a survivor feel, and I need some string for these vines because they're getting out of hand. And if you don't know what I mean by survivor feel, I mean like you're walking in the jungle and it's I don't know you're walking in the jungle and it's illuminated and pretty and cool. But first things first is a statue. So I'm thinking right here is going to be our first one, but I want them to look a little rundown, kind of like this. So it decides to rain. All right, now that we're into a fresh morning, I'm going to start off by building just kind of a statue, and then we'll go in and kind of rough it up after the fact, potentially. So we need some legs to start, which is the thing about that, and then that for... This is going to be the most super basic statue you've ever seen, and then we can kind of tweak it from there, because, like, it's the equivalency of my drawing skills. It's like a stick figure. But now we're going to need to kind of tweak things a little bit just to make it a little bit more interesting. So if I kind of do maybe one of these and kind of maybe see if I can make this look like it's kneeling, perhaps. Yes, I like where that's kind of going. And then we have, oh, maybe do a little elbow, kind of like that. And then a little hand. And then what do I want? Do I want anything happening with this hand? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to have it kind of sitting by the side there. So that's kind of, the basic statue look. And now I can come back in with mossy versions and just kind of swap some blocks out. Make it look ooh, not that way. That would hurt. Okay. So if we swap a few things out here, kind of like that, and then do I have any? I do. I have some cracked options as well, just to give it a little more variation. And if we swap that out, okay, I like where this is. I like where it's going. I do a cracked one and a mossy one. And a little bit more in here. And a little bit of a doop. A little bit on the back there. Cool. So that kind of... Oh, I'm just leaving valuable bits all over the place. Okay. So now we have a little bit of a statue. Like, it doesn't need to be super complicated. But it's just going to add a bunch of feel. So now if I can kind of come up with a couple different variations of this type of statue and kind of maybe dot them along the path, which, by the way, is like, it's in place, but it's not pretty yet. But it's going to go all the way down here. and all the way down to the beach over there, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And then we can have like a little dock, and I think this is going to start looking pretty cool. I just need to, I think I need to go get some like mossy cobble as well for the path, and then start working on some more statues. So maybe I put this back into a little bit of a time lapse just so folks can kind of see what's going on, and then let's come back and chat. Alrighty, folks. I have been hard at work decorating and putting in all of the little finer details, tons of little statues, and let's take a little bit of a closer look here with some shaders on. First of all, going through with these statues and kind of adding in some cracks, some mossy, some stairs, even some stairs kind of like the statues are starting to kind of fall apart a little bit from wear and tear, kind of adding that in all the way along this really long path, actually. Some of the statues are in a little bit better shape, but as you can see, the jungle is starting to kind of climb up on them and start to reclaim them as the jungle likes to do. And then this statue has been almost reclaimed. You can only see the top of the head here, and then we've got this little busted up kind of looking bridge going across this little space here just for a little bit more character. And then working our way up to the top here. I did try and make kind of like a little bit of a custom jungle tree up there. I am pretty happy with it, but I think I'm going to have to build more of them to kind of let it feel a little bit more natural. And then this statue here, the arm is actually fallen off, but we've placed a lantern on top of it anyway, just because we kind of can. And then going along the path a little bit further here, a couple more little statues. All of the leaves even have gone through and added little bits of moss here and there just to kind of break things up. And then here, this right there, that's just thumbnail worthy. Like, that's amazing. I love it. So here we have a little bit of a fork in the path. One going to this stair here, and then this one going along to this side here and up here. And then if you're curious how we're getting the gunpowder out of the farm right now, it's just through this little hole in the bushes, which is okay for now. I'll probably do something a little bit more fancy once something comes to mind, but right now this is kind of all I could kind of think of. And yeah, I'm super happy with this area, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to add a couple more kind of big custom jungle trees. Not too many, but probably one over here and probably one a little bit further down towards the dock. But overall, I am super happy with this. Super happy. And now, as the sun is setting on this wonderful little island peninsula thing, I think that's going to have to wrap this one up for me, folks. I have been very busy in real life, unfortunately, and I haven't had a lot of time to create content, so I apologize for the little bit of a shorter episode, but hopefully you still enjoy it, and drop me a like and a comment maybe down below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.